Hi, it's Lydia Gilman, and welcome to the Step Into Purpose podcast. Today, I've decided to jump on pretty spontaneously and do a solo episode because I've got a lot on my mind and on my heart at the moment, just about the world and the current events of the world. And I've actually been reasonably inconsistent with publishing my podcast over the last month or so because there's been so much going on in the world and in my life, and it's just felt like the right thing just to support my children and just be there with my family for now. If you've been in my world, you'll know that I'm a highly sensitive person. My husband's a highly sensitive person, and both of our children are as well. And I think especially with the world events, we're in Australia, towards the bottom of the world, pretty far removed from everything going on in Israel and Palestine. And to be honest, I'm so grateful for that. But it doesn't change that our hearts are broken and that we know the unrest going on in the world. And it's a lot. And I think especially if you're highly sensitive, we're so empathic and we feel other people's energies, and we can just sort of feel what's going on in the world right now. And my parents have just been here for a couple of weeks staying, and they're the sort of people who insist on having the 6 o'clock news on every night. And when we moved into our new home, we kind of made the decision not to connect it up to live TV. So we stream what we want to watch. And I think that's just been so beneficial. So my parents just had to watch on their tablets or, find the news some other way. And it really protected us and our energies because I want to choose what we see. And I know I don't want to have my head in the sand. Of course, we want to know what's going on in the world, but in a conscious way, and not just to be subject to all the images which are being blasted at us through some news channel. So yeah, I think having that consciousness of what goes into your subconscious is really important at this time, especially if you're highly sensitive yourself or have highly sensitive children, because those images really go through our heads as we're dreaming, and just it builds a lot of fear and anxiety, which I think as highly sensitive people we're subject to anyway. So with what's going on in the world at the moment, and isn't it so interesting that there's a terrible war going on right now with Ukraine and Russia, and that's kind of been eclipsed by the absolute devastation with Israel and Palestine. And isn't that really just a sign of the times right now? The world is shifting, and what keeps coming back to me time and time again over the last several years, but especially in these past few weeks, is that the world is so ready for a love revolution. We really need to know desperately who we really are. I believe we're all beings made up of love and light, and that our potential is limitless. We're all that energy of love, and once we all really know who we are, then the wars will just dissolve because we realize that we're so much more than that petty hate and, fighting over land and this sort of thing. Just, it will drop away, I'm sure. And I've really been reflecting as well about highly sensitive people, and it seems more and more children are born highly sensitive. When I grew up in the 80s, there was really no awareness for high sensitivity, and there wasn't even a term for it yet. That was coined later on when I was probably close to 20. It was in the mid-90s, and that was when the term actually was coined. So there really was no awareness, and the parenting which we received really wasn't conducive for highly sensitive children. And everyone was doing their best, but it was just such a different time. And I think now, especially those of us who did grow up highly sensitive and didn't receive the support which we really needed, to be honest, are doing so much better for our own children. And it's of the highest, utmost priority, I think, to really parent them in the way that they need so that they're supported and have that awareness and that connection. I took up to midlife really just to heal and to really know who I was, because I didn't receive what I needed in childhood. And now I've had the opportunity to kind of give myself what I needed then, and to heal and to become whole and know who I really am and what I'm here for, and to be able to step into my purpose now in midlife. And I have a lot of friends who are in the same place. But, it's no accident. And I think we went through that so we can better support our children now. And this is the time when it's needed. Really, the world is crying out for this love revolution. It's fully what I believe, is that we're here for a love revolution. So it's so important to me that we support ourselves, but especially our children, so they know what they're here for, that their high sensitivity is a beautiful gift that is here on earth for a reason, because it's so needed, and to help them see it as a gift rather than a hindrance, which was more the case when I was growing up. So yeah, this is really on my heart so much at the moment, and so much so that I've decided to do a workshop, a free workshop, just to help those of us with highly sensitive children, just how to navigate these times and how to best support them, because really it's a lot for all of us, and it's imperative that they just have those few tweaks so they know that they're seen and heard and respected for exactly who they are. So yeah, it's a funny time, and I think we all just need to wrap ourselves in so much love and to spread that to others. But I think we need to just start with ourselves, and that ripples out to our children, of course, and to our friends and our loved ones, and really those who we interact with on the street can feel it. And this is how the world has changed at this time when there is so much going on in the world. We have to really nurture ourselves and nourish ourselves. And I've really been strict about doing my daily practice just to set me up for wholeness, really. I do some yoga, physical yoga. I do some meditation, some journaling, say some mantras, and it really fortifies me and helps me feel set up for the day. And that ripples over to my family and to the people I come in contact with. And that's what makes all the difference. And that's what I believe is what makes the world a better place. And so with the world going through such a crazy time, it's so important for us, especially if you are a highly sensitive person or a parent of a highly sensitive child, just to really protect yourself. Like I said, from not having those visual images coming in through your television set every half an hour, for not just hearing the news repeatedly telling you of the devastation and destruction, and honestly, just unthinkable things which they're doing to each other out there on the battlefield. It really is unbelievable and heartbreaking. So really just try and protect yourself and protect your children as much as possible. And join me in this free workshop if you are a highly sensitive person or have a highly sensitive child. I'd so love to see you there. I'll put the link down in the show notes below, and it's on the Friday the 10th of November, and there'll be a replay sent out as well. So I'll link all the details to that upcoming workshop in the show notes below. But thank you so much for joining me and sending so much love.